I know sometimes it takes a minute or two. I apologize for the cat. If you can hear her, she's just being annoying and meowing a lot. Let's look at AMC. I've got the chat open here. When people join, if you want me to look at something, let me know. Of course, saying that now doesn't help because if you're watching this, you're probably watching the replay, which I'll trim this time. I'll trim it this time so that it's not just like, maybe I'll even edit it. Let's go ahead and look at some charts. Let's start with AMC, and we'll just start here. Yes, cat. Okay. We had this big drop from that massive rally, and I was saying that it didn't really matter. What we needed was to see what the markets did the next day. What the markets did the next day, they dropped. And what we felt mostly was this little glimmer of hope from a B wave, which is brutal. This is actually really epitomized. I need to get the book. Here it is. It's really, this epitomizes what Frost and Pretcher were writing about. Maybe they were quoting Elliot when they did it, but the whole idea behind that B wave is that it feels euphoric. It's powerful, it's sharp. People that didn't buy into the dip before are feeling FOMO, and it's just the psychology of it. I think that in general the markets could be in such a place, big wave B, and if that's the truth, then ouch, we got a lot of pain coming. And there may be some correlation between rebalancing of the QQQ and blah, 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 and all these earnings coming out that could align with like a market downturn. I think that's pretty speculative, and that's why I don't talk about it much. I have heard of that, but honestly, I don't put much credence into it. It's just not very technical, right? It's just a lot of speculation, taking random points of data and then drawing them into a narrative that supports someone's point of view rather than taking the data and just seeing what it actually suggests, right? When we look at the markets with bias, we look for things that we are expecting, and sometimes that's wrong. Remember, the price can always do whatever it wants, right? We've got 4 viewers. Welcome to the stream. I was just talking about how AMC opened on Monday with a B wave, which felt probably really good. Big, huge glimmer of hope there, especially seeing that initial downtrend set break. If you go to page 80 of your textbooks, ladies and gentlemen, we open your books to page 80. Idealized corrective waves. And wave B, we've got a note here from the authors, says, narrow emotional advance, technically weak, selective results in non-confirmations, fundamentals weaken subtly, aggressive euphoria and denial. Aggressive euphoria and denial. And to me, that's just like hilarious. Anyway, there's a little picture here also. You can see that. It's like this is zigzag thing, right? The zigzag thing with the big pointy B wave. Okay, that's basically what this is right in here. And it was a pretty strong rally, right? Let's just get going here. Let's take our, we're just gonna use a line tool and pull this up, hover over it. 28% off of open. Pretty big rally. Can I delete that line now? I can just do Control Z. And I even said this was kind of hard to write down as a corrective wave because of this channel through here, right? I mean, that was a strong channel, and channels are motive. So why is this a motive wave in my B wave, which is inherently corrective, counter trend? It's composed of 3 waves, A, B, and C, not 5 waves. Here's the thing. Pretty sure we had impulse A, and then this little 3-way zigzag thing through here. This was B, and it might have formed into a triangle, almost even. And then you had the absolutely most exaggerated C wave ever that ran 28%. I would call that aggressively like euphoric, right? I mean, you take the extension tool from the bottom of that initial drop to that impulse to the bottom of this correction, and $7 was that target, but price ran an additional 60 cents. Wow, that's it's impressive. Anyway, from there, what we saw was a motive wave heading lower. This felt bad. I'm not trading AMC and I'm not holding AMC, but I have had these experiences where I've watched the price run like this. And I didn't watch the price run from 440 to 860. I watched the price run from like 12 to 72, right? It was I was running around, skipping, hollering. It was just ridiculous. Anyway, when price starts to drop like this, I know it feels bad. And this motive wave probably felt really bad. C wave heading down is scary. Then we had this nice bump up, and the price didn't even reach these targets at 642. Instead, the downtrend took over. Price found some support at 583. That was an important level here. This initial impulse of A, B, and C, wave A, marks a significant peak. It's tempting to like take every peak, right? But not every peak is as important as the next. And you can assign importance to these peaks and valleys if you know what wave degree is being broken. If we break a corrective count at, per se, the primary degree, which is much higher than the minuet degree, then that peak or valley is going to be way more important because its amplitude's bigger. So the overall effect on the price is going to be more impactful, or I should say that the price is making a more impactful impact on the charts. Because remember, the price does what it wants. All the analysis does is analyze how it's moving. Like you can tell when someone trips before they hit the ground, right? And that's kind of what Elliott Wave's doing is if the price trips, yeah, you can definitely tell when it's going to crash. Or if someone's about to, take a jump or run or something, like that crouch, that they're getting ready to go, like, they're going to like make a move, right? And that's kind of what the chart analysis is doing. It's not necessarily predicting the future, but it's like, for some reason, price movement has an element of human behavior to it, and that's ultimately because humans are driving the price. I know that might seem a little convoluted, and people might question bots and AI, and does that affect it? It's like, well, probably not. Probably not, because we're here to question it and then change our behavior accordingly. Just make sure there's as much chaos as possible. It's just whatever. That's the nature of the markets, is chaos and uncertainty, right? So we're trying to forecast certainty here. So AMC coming down, bouncing, and then in after hours, big dump. Price didn't set a new low though. We didn't break the daily low in after hours. And when the price recovered and had a couple of different reactionary waves, it more or less stayed in the same place. Came up this morning, and now we're kind of floating down. This is probably what's happened. This was a news event. The news event has corrected, and now the price is just like back to normal. But we at least got the upward breakout from this pennant from a while ago, from 450, right? That 450 breakout has resulted in the price settling down towards 525. You can see implied volatility was at 202%. We were back down to 260% after peaking. Oh, near 260. This is not as much as it looks, is it? Interesting. Regardless, I think the point here is that price went crazy and now price has stabilized. And at the end of it, actually is doing better than before because there was definitely some buying through here and some of that buying stuck a little bit. Some of that buying stuck. Let's put it APE is starting to come down towards 177. This was a bearish reversal level that I drew a while ago. Let's put on an hourly chart here. It'll be a little clearer, I think. Yeah, so we were following it. I was expecting some sort of diagonal to form through here, and we didn't get the diagonal. Typically what that means is we just got A, B, and C and some sort of flat. Wow, A, B, and C. Could this be A? Well, I like my count. We're going to have to just accept this is probably impulse. And then this big push higher, this was corrective. But basically what I did here is I used this push from 160 to 177. I labeled that as an initial impulse because obviously it was. Price was moving just like sideways for a long time. And this was the first move that didn't and made progress. We're calling that a new trend. We're going to label it as impulse. And then the retracement from there gave us a target for wave C or 3 at 195. Price ran there. We're calling this retracement B and the counter trend C. This is probably impulse, and now we're in corrective, and we're going back for impulse heading down. 177 did break already, right? So we already know that we're not going to be making progress, at least not to the upside. We definitely made progress to the downside at $1.45. It's not as low as we've seen APE go. APE bottom towards 67 cents. But nonetheless, that's a pretty significant low. This is a daily chart, so you're not going to see it. It's in off normal trading hours. But more or less, I'm following A, B, and C, and then A. This has been B, and maybe actually we saw C. Maybe that was C, that 140, that 145 level back here. Or it's just the beginning, right? In which case we're going to be doing a measured move from 2 to 137, looking for the bounce, which we know came up to about 180. That's going to be a wicked low target. Because what we're going to do is take the height of this tremendous push down, and then we're going to pull all the way back up. 138, so that makes sense, doesn't it? When I went out onto the daily time frame, it looked like 120 was support, and there's a big valley at 131. So coming back down to that level, that makes sense. And then we'll talk about whether or not we're going to go higher, because that would finish an ABC pattern through here. I'm going to get rid of this line. That's confusing me. But you can see C is more or less targeting a similar low as A, in which case that could be the end of the corrective phase. And we'll see what happens next. We won't get a bullish confirmation on this chart scale until $3.20. So there's a lot of room through here in APE. I don't really know. I've been kind of just trying to ignore APE the best I can. It was pretty clear Admiral was just trying to get a way to sell shares and raise equity, raise money for the company, I mean. And so I'm trying not to look at it. I'm trying to focus more on AMC, because more or less the value of APE was removed from it, and it should be therefore more stable since it's not a new equity. But it does seem to play a dance with APE, it really does. I'm gonna drink some water here. Maybe I should even zoom in a little bit and do a little intraday price action. Like, you can analyze really small moves. You really can. Let's just take a look here, for instance. We had this uptrend. Tested, bounced, didn't break prior high, retest, lower low, came back up, lower high, bearish reversal confirmed at this level at 528. Price fell through there, but guess what? Came back up. Very annoying. These are the worst chart patterns. The ones that do like any kind of broadening, this is the worst. Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started. Just forget about it. Easier just to do the wave pattern analysis. We can easily call these impulses. One, let's see here, probably A, and then B has 3 waves. A, B, and C, and then wave C ends here. So probably 1, coming down here, 2, setting a new high and new lows, in some sort of broadening pattern. And then we're probably looking for a motive wave now, in which case we have 1, 2, and we're extending a 3rd wave right now. This is probably all wave 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to test that out a little bit. And I have at least 1 wave extension. Got a phone call. Let's see how this goes. Hello? It's so funny when somebody has your number and like it just doesn't make sense. Gotten the wrong. This number has called me before, and it's like I missed the call, so I called it back. I was like, "What's up?" And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "You called me like literally 3 minutes ago." And they were like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Forget it." Anyway, let's go through and let's start labeling these waves. I'm going to start at the minor wave just because it's been a good place to start. It gives me 3 sub waves to extend into, which is good. I don't need to do, like, honestly, on the minute time frame, I'm not going to be placing that wave degree down because these waves are tiny. Again, remember the price fractals, and so there's like a lot of levels of wave degrees. Let's go ahead, just get started. For the sake of example here, we'll say 1, and we'll say wave 2 came up here. The only rule for wave 2 is that it can't completely retrace wave 1, so respecting the high at 548. This would have been the bullish reversal level, by the way. So in the morning, we would have labeled this, and we would have labeled it bullish reversal. And that's what drives that, is if price gets above there, then this potentially bearish motive wave count ends, right? See what I'm saying? Because we set a new downtrend as soon as we set this low. So breaking that downtrend and then getting above this prior high, and ultimately this would have been the high, and then it just depends on what degree you're talking, right? On the highest degree, of course, we've got to get back above this 850 peak to really be bullish again, which is brutal, right? Brutal. But for the sake of looking at the 1 minute chart, we're looking at very small trends. Let's go ahead and just keep going. This was initial impulse of 3, but it wasn't all of that wave. We're going to bump down a wave degree to express the extensions, because every wave is built of the wave degrees below it. And here it's motives. It's going to be a 5-wave count. We're going to start with the minute wave 1. And it's supposed to be like 1 in the circle, but I can't really do that on TD Ameritrade, or I don't know how. I just don't think I can. We'll call this 2 up here. So I just end up putting it on the side, like whatever. 1, 2, and then this is probably all wave 3 through here. Maybe all of this. And it gets a little tricky because we have a zigzag through here, right? But this is definitely motive. Could be a 5th wave extension. Wave 3 can't be the smallest wave. We're going to have to dig into this one a little bit. I'm just going to start putting down some extension tools. Why I'm here. This is the extent of 1 right there. Maybe the extent of 1 is lower. Maybe this is actually 1, and then it's A, B, and C. Let's do that. Let's call this wave 1 to the top of 2. So wave 3, this could actually be wave 3. No, it couldn't be wave 3, because wave 4 would be here, and wave 4 does not come into the zone of 1. And so that's another thing we can do, is once we establish where the bottom of that first wave is, we put it down, and we label it max 4 retrace. This will help us count max, and this is at the minor degree retrace. You can color it yellow. There we go. You can see the RSI here is reaching overbought, or oversold, I should say. This is a good indication that we've found the end of a motive wave. And that's right where price bounced, of course, interestingly enough. And we kind of set a higher low. We had a bullish divergence here, right? But price didn't respect it at all. Nope, price kept going down. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. When we get these bearish, these divergences break like this. This was actually bullish. And it's only between these peaks and valleys. Let's go ahead and say this. And then I'll pull this line back so it makes a little more sense. Broke right here. You can tell we then completed a motive wave later through here, right? This could be 1, 2. You know that what I'm saying is that these divergences typically signal termination of a trend in wave positions like 5 and C, for instance. When they show up anywhere else, it's like that's not going to work, and that's why it doesn't always work for bullish and bearish divergences in the RSIs. Sometimes you just got to know what the wave count is, and then you can figure it out later. Anyway, so we've got this bullish divergence, price bounces up into 2, and then we start a new 3 wave, and it looks like only 3 waves, right? But it could come all the way out here, and this could be all wave 4 through here. Interesting. This would be the top of a corrective wave then, right? And we haven't broken that. And yeah, lower highs and lower highs in the RSI. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to say that this 3 wave comes all the way out here, and this is actually what's called a truncated 5th, where the 5th wave does not pass beyond the first, or the preceding 3 wave. Anyway, might be confusing if I'm not saying that right. But, you know, you get the idea. We're going to go down into a smaller wave degree now to express another extension. And it makes sense that we're going through all these extensions on the way down, right? Because we definitely did that on the way up, right? This was quite a run. Like, wow. Am I showing after hours right now? I am. That was just that fast. Boom! Crazy. Yeah, it makes sense that we're getting all these wave extensions heading down now, because obviously the price has to move in scale, right? It has to make a dramatic move. And this is how the price does that. And so at that 3rd wave, it helps to just keep extending. Bump down a degree and keep counting. And here you can see that wave 2 here at the minuet level is a flat. Very nice A, B, and C. Big push down that follows it would be wave 3. Get this, break it down, edit this, that there, 3. duplicate. This is probably 4 at the minuet degree. There we go. And then we'll duplicate this and pull it down and say the 5th wave truncated. Now, after we complete wave 3 at the minute degree, we still need to finish our count of the wave degree above minute, which is minor. And that's going to be in wave 4. Here you go. Here's wave 4, A, B, and C. And it's interesting because we actually get kind of like a diagonal through here almost, which I would resist the temptation to do that. This isn't like wave 4 is a weird spot to get this particular pattern. It looks better in wave C, right? If this were A, B, and this were wave C, to get this pattern there, it'd make a lot of sense. Now, A and 4 don't agree. A is impulse, 4 is corrective. So we have to really ask ourselves, is it possible that this is actually a 4th wave extension at the minuet degree, right? Well, let's go ahead and let's take our initial impulse at the minuet degree right here in blue and 1, and let's again note it's a max wave retrace for some minuet wave, or for minuet wave 4. There we go. And sure enough, price comes up to that level and fails to pass above it. This could all be 4 of this minuet degree, which would be kind of crazy because it would just be too long. Look at how quickly these impulses and this correction lasted, right? And this correction was sideways. And if we can, we want to look for alternation between sideways and sharp in waves 2 and 4. And here, this small wave becoming a sharp gives us that nice alternation. This could, it could be 4 all the way up here, and this is 5. That's not quite the right look. This move overall, I think, is more relative to impulse 3 at the minute degree. That'd make more sense to me. So I'm going to leave this here like this. Maybe the candles here actually give us a little more info. Yeah, okay. See, on a line chart, it doesn't really look very 3-wavy ABC. But here, with the candles on, we actually kind of get that story a little bit. Because we're at the minute degree and we can't break down to a smaller time frame, we have to use the tails and the wicks to give us that extra data. So this is appropriate. This is an appropriate time to do that, I think. I don't like to do that in Elliott wave, obviously. 100% target was at 526. Eventually, price got there, right? Eventually, it got there. Pretty interesting to see those targets line up like that. It really is. But this would make 7 minuet wave A, and then B, and you can see just this like the expression of a triangle through here for wave B. And by expression, I mean we're going to read into these candles a little bit. We're going to pick apart like 3 minutes of price data here, where we get a high, lower high, and then a matching high, right? But just after the breakout. Here we have a low, higher low, higher low. What's that look like? It looks like a little triangle for wave B, and then wave C comes up and it stops, and that completed wave 4. And we still have wave 5 to give, right? And so we're looking for this to be wave 5. And so again, we can look at these candles and we can kind of get those 5 waves through there. We have a high right here, which isn't surpassed. What was this? 518, 518, and 518. These 3 candles all have the same high. And so we can easily count 1, 2, 3 into this tail, 4 bouncing up, and then 5 coming all the way down to this low. And so we can get, by reading into these tails and wicks, how we can get those 5 waves. But for the time being, I want to zoom back out a little bit because that is way too granular. But if you're day trading, that's what you do, right? Anyway, so I think that it's, and then these markings don't make sense, right? They're all over the place. So I think this is correct. 3, 4, 5, 3, duplicate this, minute wave 4 coming up here. All right, there you go. And we're going to take away this. We're going to look at minute wave 2. It was a sharp, right? You see how this is a zigzag through here, coming up, making a pretty big move, even breaking that incoming uptrend we lost. And then wave 4 is more flat through here, hitting that resistance at 526 and just turning over. A, impulse coming up. B is 3 waves through here, and C comes up and doesn't set a significant high at all. We then start, and now we're looking for minute wave 5, right? Looking for minute wave 5 coming down. And this is kind of the advantage of Elliott wave, is we know that we're going to get a 5th wave once we break the uptrend of wave 4, which we draw like this. But really, because we know that we're looking for the trend in wave 4, we could even use this trend line, or even this trend line would have worked. But we'll go back to the lower low back here. And we'll just label this as a little corrective uptrend. There we go. And we're breaking that now. What we should expect is a pullback to test that little uptrend. And maybe we get it, maybe we don't. The RSI is near oversold right now, so we're probably coming to the end of a motive wave. It makes sense to get a little bullish divergence down here first, though. You can see that the RSI peaked into overbought at the top of minute wave 4. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. What we can do now is we can take just the tiniest portion of price data. We can see where wave 3 can end, 3, 4, 5. So this might be all wave 5. Wave 5 might be done. We could already be done with 5. Zoom out and see how it looks. And you can see how granular I'm being right now with the price. That would give us this funky looking wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But here's the problem with this count. You ready for this? Look at where minute wave 1 ends. Minute wave 1 ends at 522. Price totally breaks above there, right, in my supposed wave 4, which means that that count doesn't work. So we can solve this one of 2 ways. We can either figure out how to move wave 1 higher in the count, which honestly wouldn't be like all that hard. Let's see. Originally, I was thinking maybe we could use even this back here as waves 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's overlap there, and 5. Corrective impulse maybe, and then A, B, and C. We could make one way back here, we really could. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? You see how there's this 539 level isn't broken. Call this 5, make this some sort of, in fact, maybe that's even better. Maybe this is actually some sort of reverse triangle. That's motive. But the peaks and valleys don't really make much sense. Honestly, I don't like that idea very much. I think really what we're looking at here is another corrective move down, really, because I could easily make a horizontal triangle through here, right? Let's see, whoops, I meant to duplicate that drawing. And then this impulse 1 would actually become A. And then 2 would reach over here, and then look, that 3rd wave extension's gone. We'll call that B. And we're pushing down, not to finish wave 3, but that motive wave is now going to be minute wave C. A, B, and C. There we go. And I had to do that, changed the count drastically, right? That was huge. I just changed the chart to say motive down, making progress heading lower, to correcting down, which is less bearish. The chart just became significantly less bearish. And now, check this out. Our bullish divergence actually makes sense because it's at the end of a motive wave A. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It makes sense. Yep. And maybe this triangle idea isn't such a bad idea after all, you know? It's very possible price was first kind of expanding and then it came into contracting. And I was looking into this, and there's actually several examples of this in Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Pretcher, the book. And that blew me away because it really helped me understand to watch when the price is flipping between motive and corrective, which was cool. All right, so there we go. I think this is where I'm going to leave my my charts as an A, B, and C here on the minute degree. And then I can easily make this into a corrective A, B, and C pattern. Impulse A, B, and C. That works. We'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. A here being 3 waves. Impulse A. You can do that, and maybe it does that when it's correcting C and not 5. Something to. I'm gonna take a little mental note there. Maybe that's true. Maybe I can get that. That's pretty indicative of what's following. And remember, we did all this because these highs came above this low, so we had to say A, B, and C. We're gonna do another extension tool through here. We're gonna see what this looks like. Boom, 100% at 513. See that? And we don't really always want to target the extension. Wave C tends to do that, but we've got a pretty good uptrend through here. It is breaking. We'll see if it holds. We'll see if it holds. Wave C may still be building, right? Wave C might also have 3 waves, especially if wave A was like some sort of wacky. This thing is wacky as get out. So I want to see these waves alternate. And so maybe rather than being sharp and expanding, maybe we get something like maybe the opposite. Maybe we actually get a triangle through here. That'd be interesting to see a triangle through here. Makes sense. I mean, price has been moving around a lot lately, right? So some sideways grind makes sense to me. We've got a low at 496. We could say that we've corrected A, B, and C. Sideways makes sense. Just a sideways grind. Okay, so I wanted to do some of that just for the hell of it, I guess. I know the channel is mostly AMC, and after all, that's where I started too, right, with the channel. And so now I'm going to go through and just like look at a bunch of charts. I have a lot of analysis to do. I do a lot of analysis. I like to keep up with it, and I'll sit here for hours just like looking at charts and shit. But like, whoops, I was thinking it might be good just to do it on a live. Why not? Kind of helps me see my thought process too later if I want. I don't like to watch the lives; they're too long, but it can be good. So let's see. I had several written down. I had some requests for analysis as well. SPLK was one of them, so I took a look. Let's go check up on SPLK. I was probably looking at a day chart through here. Okay, and we've got an ascending triangle. We came up to this level. Ooh, and we actually rejected, but we're still moving through consolidation. We're still, and it's almost even more clear now that we're moving through wave B of a measured move up. I don't like red being the default color. That's so dumb. Make it yellow, please. Thank you. Okay, so in this case, we're using this impulse and these points to say this is a corrective trend. Yeah, absolutely. And if we break 110, even on a small wave degree, we get pretty sweet targets up here. We're looking for that breakout, the 64% time level. What am I going to call that? It's 64% to apex, right? So you start the chart pattern back here, pull the measure tool to the apex of the triangle. So I took this uptrending support and I brought it to the horizontal level support and resistance that's forming the pattern. And the 64% to apex was here. So we could see A, B, C, D, and E on top, right? Where our triangle is running. The top of the impulse is actually back here, right? A reactionary trend, and then A, B, C, D, and E up here, overthrow. I really am still bullish here on SPLK. I don't know what Splunk Inc. does, but this chart doesn't look bad. Let's move on. CV and A is another one someone wanted me to look at a while ago, and so I did. And I'm just going to go ahead and zoom into the hourly time frame here, and we'll have a look. So on 7/19, I left myself a little note, and I said correction soon. All right, let's have a peek here. Looks like I was following a motive wave at the minute degree. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow, 3 really extended. Wow, that's a big 3 extension. 4, and then 5 came up, peaked, and now we're seeing reversal. And it looks like we've had first impulse of that reversal. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And we're going to do a measure tool through these points, I think is right. Yes. And what's kind of cool here is this might actually be a diamond or a roof. In Bulkowski chart pattern analysis, right? You get this horizontal line that gets reached several times. Like, let's zoom in on this a little bit. Anybody ever heard of the roof pattern? I mean, it's a Bukowski thing. And then we'd be connecting, like, maybe those points. Maybe these points. Yeah, and maybe my extension tool here is a little confusing, right? Yeah, to me, this looks like a roof. Like this. Yep, and it's supposed to be a bottom, and it makes sense if you reverse out of there, right? It's like half of a diamond. We can go to thebatteredsite.com and we can take a look at that. Chart patterns. Q through R. Right angled roof, inverted, there you go. So this is a Bukowski pattern. He discovered it in 2005. The name is based on its complement, the roof chart pattern. So let's get an idea here. The percentage mean price target is the percentage of the incoming impulse that we use for the price target post breakout. So for a downward breakout, we're looking for a 47% move down, which isn't a lot, right? It's not super strong. Looks like we've got all of the ID criteria met. Let's see, the two halves of the inverted roof chart pattern should appear symmetrical, allow variations, but most look like a V with price touching the horizontal top often. Make sure it's not a head and shoulders bottom, and the price breaks out valid outside the chart pattern trend line boundary. So something about chart pattern analysis is the breakouts are a little different. We don't have to necessarily break the low. In Elliott Wave, we're always going to be looking to break lows. But chart pattern analysis, you're using those trends. This looks pretty good, I think. We've got several touches towards, the last half of each side. A lot of white space here in the chart pattern or open space. We get a breakout, we'll be measuring, is it the height of the pattern or is it the height of the incoming downtrend? Let's see. Let's scroll down here. Compute the height difference between the inverted roof's high and low. It's a very small chart pattern, very small chart pattern. You can see sometimes these sort of as reversals, right? Obviously this one's forming a top through here. We could be seeing a continuation through here. Look at price pushing down now. The price target for the pattern would be really low. It would be like, you break out from here, you get a 50% extension from this point. It's not a significant new low. It's more saying that we're going to get sideways grind. Let me use this Fibonacci extension tool, and we'll, this is the Bukowski price target right here. We get a downward, okay, I need to turn off Epic, I guess, really, is the lesson here. Anyway, so 47%, $42.99, right? That's not a big move, it's really not. We're probably going to get a little three-wave test through here, and what that's going to do is it's going to give us a sideways grind. So I'm not thinking that the chart pattern analysis here is as valuable as the Elliott wave analysis, right? But the Elliott wave analysis tells us we probably had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're just now starting to actually retrace wave 5 a little bit, and this could be wave 2 through here, and the extension target is 29.38, and we could see some pretty big moves. Bearish reversal occurs at 1987. Occurs at 1987. And the extension target for this wave down is below there. I don't think we're going to get there. It would make sense for me to see even 29.38 is a little extreme, but that is where the target is. I'm looking at the overall trend that we are correcting, and it's pretty massive. So big move up, big correction. Zooming out, it probably doesn't look as bad. I'm going to go ahead and take off the extension here. I don't want people to think I'm targeting that. But we did call for correction on 719, and we are starting to see that set up. We'll wait for the RSI to really signal on the hourly time frame that that correction is over. We could see RSI reach oversold for a while. That would have to be a strong C wave. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of doubt that. Let's move on from CVNA. Oh, can you do EXPR? Yes, and Playboy. Also, yeah, let's do those. Let's see here. We'll just move on. EXPR. Express Inc. Okay, is this the clothing brand? I don't know. I guess I don't know these tickers all that much. You could tell us what Express is in the chat. That'd help me a little bit. Oh wow, that's a meme. Hey, it's a meme chart. It's a meme chart. Yay. Let's see here. Let's zoom in onto those big bars. Wow, impressive. 441% implied volatility. Wow. And then the price moves sideways. I feel like this is so similar to AMC. I look at it and it's like, is it the same chart? Mostly because we get the big W in 2020, and then push higher with like the handle, and then off to the races. And it's cheaper too than AMC. Or you know, it was. I like that. Anyway. Okay, so wow, big waves heading higher. Obviously, there's a significant low in 2020 through here, right? And so that was a pretty big trend through there. Holy cow! And it broke, so I'm actually gonna use a solid line. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 5, A, B, C, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to write all that down. That was kind of a lot. We're going to start on the cycle waves, and we're just going to say cycle wave 1, cycle wave 2, which is sharp. Cycle wave 3, which can't be the shortest wave, and it's not. Cycle wave 4 is inherently flat, and here it is. Wave 5 truncates, which is fine. That's very common. You can see the RSI here is reaching overbought. Yeah, top of motive wave. Top of motive wave. Again, top of motive wave. This is how we use the RSI appropriately. And then you have reactionary trends, A, B, and C. And then another A, B, and C, and then perhaps 5 down. This makes me think that we may actually want to move 5 out here, but it looks like this peak passes this peak. This could be A, B, C, B, A, B, C. That's another potential count. And I'm actually going to label that one because it's more likely. I think it's more likely. And I say that because I'm looking for corrective waves down after this big impulse, right? And if I take from the top of the motive wave to the corrective wave and then pull this up, what do I get? Ooh, negative price target. That's ugly. You don't want negative price targets, not because you don't want negative price targets, but because it doesn't really give us a point of reference for the analysis. And this is, after all, on the log scale, and we're going through like a 700% move or whatever. This is ridiculous. Let's measure this. But what is this? This is 91%, 7%. That's fine. Anyway, so looking for ABC through here. Understandably, we're not going to reach a negative number, right? But let's see, where would that retracement stop? At these lows, that technically we're in motive wave heading down, no longer in retracement. This could be 1, 2. Yeah, it just makes more sense. It just makes more sense. But this can't be wave 2 right here. This can't be wave 2 because it sets a new high. So we gotta start wave 1 down here. Which makes me think what can set a new high is actually the cycle wave degree, corrective waves. So if we are going to be labeling corrective waves, we'll be big this, A, and it looks like the waveforms in those little places might actually work. Of course, then I'm stuck putting a back-to-back ABC form together, right? A, B, and C, back-to-back to back-to-back, and then A, B, and C maybe through here. Again, because we're in log scale, this might not work, right? Price target doesn't make sense. Let's do a percentage comparison instead. So we were 47% there, and here we're 37%. But extremes, 40%. These are comparable A and C waves, I think, through here. I really don't like to just, it feels like a cop-out. When you can't fit motive waves anywhere, you just start labeling A, B, and C over and over again. that could be it. First ABC is, let's see, ABC. This one is reacting to 5 at cycle, and then this one is also reacting to this overall impulse of 5, and then which wave, we still don't completely retrace cycle wave 5 at this point in time. This could all be part of the cycle wave correction. And what I've actually labeled by accident is the wave degrees below 5. What I need to think of is wave A is 3 waves. Wave B comes up to here, long correction, and then C comes down through here. And then we get a corrective wave, A, and then I want to say B through here, impulse, A, B, and C, and yeah, these are weird corrective waves. But it makes sense, A, B, and C, 3 waveform through here, some sort of flat, and then we start correcting the overall impulse here, which began at like 58 cents. And that probably stops here and becomes motive. So we're going to say that maybe this is where our motive wave starts. We have 1, 2 is sharp. Again, we're getting negative price targets. We don't really want that, but that's what the linear measured rule is going to give you. You want to use the log scale measured rule. Let's go ahead and just do that. Let's see. We have 1, 59%. If this is 2, 58%. This can't be 3, right? It's got to be longer than that. 1, maybe 2. Could this be 3? So now we're going to do another line tool, line tool. Let's see, 57%, 59%, 52%. Impulses down are getting weaker through here. Do you see this? 50%. What's this one? 42%. Okay. What does this look like outside of log scale? Doesn't really give us a chart pattern, does it? Such an interesting chart. This is an interesting one. It looks like AMC, but then it's like, it's not. Obviously, APE didn't get involved here. There wasn't like this gouge of the equity. But look at that. Isn't that interesting? Because each of these impulses pushing down gets relatively weaker, that tells me that if we are moving through motive wave extensions, that we're just fractaling down into the next wave degree smaller over and over and over again. And if that's the case, then the sideways grind is going to last forever because we're going to need to complete those counts. We're going to look to the RSI here, try to give us a clue what's going on. We can easily see the oversold a couple of times here. Again, this is probably waves 3 and 5 of a motive wave. This is probably A, B, and C, and then B, and then C, B, C, A, B, and C, and then maybe we have a motive wave through here. This is a hard chart. It's a price mountain, right? Absolutely a price mountain. Price comes up, price comes down. And am I in log scale again? No. And outside of log scale, it looks a little different, doesn't it? Let's put it back into log scale. I'm going to have to look at this one more. There's definitely a channel through here, right? Which makes me think motive. But obviously, that downtrend hasn't broken yet. Is it really possible that this is still in some sort of brutal wave extension? That's nuts. That's nuts. I mean, some of the patterns through here are like here you have 1, 2, and then you get that third wave extension again, right? And then 4, and 5. Like this is definitely a motive wave through here. This could be A, B, and then C here is some sort of like triangle maybe, a broadening pattern possibly. Weird. Like, what do you do with that? Honestly, what do you do with that? We could finagle it, right? Be like, yeah, there's totally 5 touch points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounce down, right? Weird chart. I don't know about this one. Definitely still in a downtrend, right? Let's take the all-time high downtrend and we'll glue it here. We'll extend it to the right. So this is the big one to watch, obviously. And then we'll do another point through here. And this is why I'm like kind of baffled. You've seen me use trends in the past, like to identify motive waves and such. And when we get just like repetitious like new downtrends like this, like look, not there. This is the first one that broke. There's like 4 degrees here, right? And we kept going. Has this one broken yet? This is the one that's just breaking now. So this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, B, and C. And then this could be a big correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then we have another 4 and 5, and then 4 and 5 to clear this one out, and then 4 and 5 to clear this one out, and then 4 and 5 to clear this one out, right? And when we finally get through all of these downtrends, this will be the level to watch, is 231. 1, 2, 3, 4, if this is a big macro trend through here. And again, that's supposing, and in this hypothetical wave count, this is actually A, B, and C, if it breaks. Anyway, weird. Okay, getting off of that one. That one's throwing me for a loop. That's a meme chart for you. It's a clothing brand. They sell in malls. Oh, it is Express. Yeah, I know Express. Of course I know Express. I've never heard the Inc., I guess, in their name. Makes me think, like, I don't know, maybe it's a mail service. That's okay. I don't shop much at Express. I had a pair of shoes once from Express. I really liked them. And then I also had this shirt. It was, like, very comfy. Anyway. Okay, Playboy. I really like Playboy. Looks like we're looking at consumer discretionary through here. Oh, no. Before we do Playboy, and I wanted to go over this today, too, let's look at American Eagle Outfitters, okay? Yes, let's look at American Eagle Outfitters. I have a bunch of, like, analysis here that I've done, but I haven't returned to it for a long time. I think the Capavision chart's my favorite at the moment. There was definitely a big cup and handle through here, but look, downward breakout. That handle didn't work out, right? There's the price target. We didn't confirm it, though. We didn't break out of this broadening pattern through here, right? A, B, and C. And then we got, oof, actually, this is C way down here. Brutal. I'm going to have to go ahead and reanalyze this chart, but we've definitely broken a downtrend, right? On a very large wave degree. Price came back down to that trend. Common. Hasn't set a new low. This could be what we call a wave 2 retracement. Wave 2 feels awful because wave 2 simply can't retrace all of wave 1, and it may try. It may try. I need a new chart. These charts all kind of suck. You know, the longer you chart for, like, the better you get. You just can't move on to a new chart. So, like, I don't know. We'll just call this new LA wave. This is what I think I see here. I think I have a bearish RSI. Okay, now my line's all messed up. Let's do this. Right extension turned off. Say it's default. Look, now my red line saved as default. There's a bearish divergence here in the RSI and the price. I'm thinking this is probably waves 3 and 5. Makes sense. Makes sense. Let's go ahead and label that, or at least start showing what it may look like. Is that 1 and 2? Woo! And then wave 3 runs like crazy. Probably. I'm just gonna start. I'm on a daily chart. We'll start with the cycle loop. I don't know. This seems like a good idea. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. And now we're looking at A, B, and C heading lower, right? I'm gonna take my measure tool, take this impulse. Oh look, wave A ends right where the RSI is oversold. Makes sense. Then wave B is 3 waves, comes up. The target would have been 10.02. And the low we got was 10.05. 10.05, the intraday low. 3 pennies. Can I get 3 pennies, please? Can I maybe, like, magnetize this somewhere else? Make this, like, more perfect? Let's see, there we go. 10.07. Oh, man, what was that close? 10.17. Come on, that's close. I wish I had forecasted that one. That would have been a great thing to have caught, because we would have caught it bearish confirmation here at 1268 or 1270-ish. So we would have been forecasting a 22% decline. Would have caught that. Oh well. What can you do? Express has high debt, right? Yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to look at that. A lot of those consumer discretionary companies like AMC have a lot of debt. That includes Playboy. Playboy's debt's not like as bad. I think they recently got some. I think they got their maturities pushed out, so they've got time to make money. Anyway, let's go ahead and label this A, B, and C. I want to follow. I told myself I'd start following American Eagle more. Most of the clothing I wear is American Eagle because it fits. I have a hard time finding clothing because of my, build. Anyway, A, B, and C. We're looking now at a reactionary trend. 2C, we've got 3 waves going. Could easily form into a motive wave. Wouldn't that be nice? We've already reached the 100% target for this measured move up. If we get a nice wave 4 and 5 push, then we'll come back down and we'll start talking about more bullish things. We are just reaching overbought on the RSI, probably at the top of another ABC corrective wave. And it's probably on a wave degree smaller than the cycle wave. Looks like it might be at primary, maybe even intermediate. So we'll keep an eye on that. As long as we don't break the low back here, we don't get bearish continuation. So we'll go ahead and label this as well. Of course, if we bounce on that level, then it's going to give us an indication of it's going to be SOR, so support or resistance, which it is. Let's go ahead and take this downtrend and show that this is broken. And I can leave that in red too, actually. Very curious. Yeah, very curious. So let's think about this. Price is in a short-term uptrend after breaking a longer-term downtrend, after breaking like the longest-term downtrend. Let's see, because we don't have a new low back here. We're going to use this low when we consider our downtrend, which actually we don't even need to do because that whole trend's going to come from like way back here. Crazy, right? But that's how it goes. Where's the high? I mean, we get like the smallest slope ever between these two peaks, but let's be honest. Let's use the second peak here at 37.70 and go to this $36 peak. And we'll extend that to the right and see what it looks like. That look good? All right, extend to the right. Zoom out. Boom, struck it there. Striking it again now. We could be forming a bottom through here. It could resemble a triangle, right? And it could be a reversal triangle. It's very possible. In which case, we'd be watching this uptrend through here. This is an internal trend line. It's not an external trend line. It doesn't follow the rules. So I'm just going to color it green. You can see price actually bounce around through here for a while. And that makes sense. If we're getting 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, I mean, come on. We'd also be offset from the end of the motive wave, which might be back here. In which case, we'd be counting A, B, C, D, and E on the top side, expecting E to overthrow. Suggests breakout of this big downtrend. Let me go ahead and actually make this a dashed line. Yeah, the price cuts through it, but also maybe that's just because like it's not accurately drawn. Price is currently spinning on it. Going to keep an eye here on American Eagle Outfitters as well. Let's go to equities. Let's show corporate actions. What do we got? Supposedly earnings are on September 6th. I say supposedly because sometimes Thinkorswim isn't very good at that kind of information, and it's frustrating because I get it wrong in the future, and it's dumb. Let's look at Playboy really quickly. Playboy is just moving through this sideways grind. It's like, come on, do something. It's just like coiling up, and there's like an inverted head and shoulder pattern through here that's like super complex. Or like, if you wanted to say it's a diamond, you could do that. It's at the end of this huge motive trend lower that has like ending diagonal triangles and stuff in it. Like, it's just so ready to go into a reactionary trend of glory. Show me A, B, and C. Let's go. But it's taking forever. Let's look at the candle chart here and zoom in again. Yeah, you can see today price again broke out above that 182 level. It's only ever closed outside of there like once or twice in the last forever. Like here's one, two, three closes, four closes above there. It's a big level. That's a huge level. That $2 level is big. The options chain starts to run into the money at $2.50. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. I don't know how those things work, but it's possible. Oh man, playing with my heart here. Look at this. It's just like move. So, and wherever closer to the upper trend line here, it's obviously like more biased towards the upside breakout. So let's go check on GME while we're just like meandering around the markets here. And I think the hourly time frames where a lot of these drawings are from. You know, I'm targeting 2086. I flipped bullish once we bounced off a bearish continuation. And we got this nice little push up to 2362 when the AMC had its news event. But now guess what? Now price is just like it's in consolidation again. It's just moving sideways more. More sideways. It's like, aha, you have to break out, don't you? And then it's like sideways trading intensifies. I like that. Sideways trading intensifies. Intensifies. Nice. Yeah. And then guess what? Oh dear. Yeah, just pull it out a little bit. There you go. We just draw out the consolidation pattern. That's so annoying. All things considered, GameStop is still closer to that downtrending resistance than it is towards the uptrending support. So bearish continuation is still at 2216. We have a chart pattern, right? A, B, C, D, and E. We have 5 touch points, so we can do like a descending triangle, I think, or yeah, we're descending triangle would be great analysis here probably. In which case, we'd be taking, I think it's like half of this range, which is only like $1.50, and adding it to like 23, so 24.50. Like seriously, the price target for a breakout here would be like near resistance. Right here, I got 2 levels, 24.26 and 24.37. It's one level, 24.50, call it. And then even then, we need to get above the pattern to really break bullish. 25.51 still there. There's just like not much going on here. Just a lot of like coiling of price action. AMC, of course, broke out of its coil, but it's back into a similar range. Playboy is still working through its coil. What else do we want to go through today? I think someone wanted me to look at CYBN, so let's go over there, check out CYBN. Here we go. That looks pretty good on the hourly. That looks really good. And I see another motive wave through here. And it's going to be tricky because this looks like A, B, and C, but is this wave 5? I don't know. Let's go through. Let's try to figure something out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it could be 4 and 5. 4 is zigzag. We're looking for 2 to be sideways then. And we don't really get a sideways correction in any of these. This could typically I see that and it screams that the price is going much higher. Let's see here. Again, I don't know what this company does or anything about them or if there's been any news or anything. There's clearly a downtrend through here that we're still waiting to break. Let's see. I'm going to do some dashed lines. That's the downtrend. It's big. It's scary. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, A, maybe B, C. Okay, probably at the end of a motive trend through here with A, B, and C. We could be building an inverted head and shoulder. That would take a long time. It'd be a massive pattern, and price would come back down to like 30 cents in that case. I'm just curious. Definitely a high and tight flag through here too on the daily time frame. In fact, this looks like wave 5 up here. Let's see. We don't have any bearish divergence there because we didn't set a new high. Let's go back to the hourly and let's just look at the RSI here. This looks like waves 1, a 3-wave extension through here, and then the top of 5, So maybe this is actually, this is impulse 1, this is corrective wave 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. But I get bearish divergence. Let's see. I don't get any bearish divergence. Interesting. I'm going to reach oversold right here, right? A, B, and C. Let's just go ahead and do this. A, maybe this is a B wave through there. C targets right, yeah, right around 40 cents. That's pretty close. This is probably A, B, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the top of that 5 wave right here. We're just starting the corrective wave. So let's do this. Let's take this, put that there. We'll say that's the impulse, and then this is the corrective bounce. And assuming the corrective bounce is over, targeting 30 cents. Didn't I just say something about targeting 30 cents if we're going to be looking for a big inverted head and shoulder pattern? There, oh, 40 cents, right? No, 30 cents. Yeah, 30 cents. Okay, there you go. I would look for 30 cents. Honestly, it's kind of overly simplistic. The hourly time frame, I don't know. Let's start at the primary degree for some reason. Let's just do it. You know, one thing I don't like about this is that waves 2 and 4 don't alternate. They're both like flags. And we're really looking for A, B, and C, right? Because we're breaking downtrends. So we want to look for, on some wave degree, we are looking for waves A and B, and then, oh, maybe C is the breakout of the shoulder. That makes sense. So if this is the head of the pattern right here, then we're looking for basically these peaks to become the there you go, the neckline of the pattern. Make this blue, save the default please. There we go. It'd be kind of lopsided though. You can see like price just climbs. It's kind of like a nice V bottom with a handle. I mean, this is such a high and tight flag. It's such a high and tight flag where we've got this nice flag forming through here. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. Maybe I need to go into a smaller time frame. Go to the 4 hour. Like, that's a nice flag. And this might be A, B, and C. Bring this down, of course. This gives us a bullish target. Let's put that down. Bullish confirmation is right here. I know everyone's been watching these bull flags all over the place in the market, and they've all been failing, right? Bullish continuation, but that's because you don't get the breakout. You know, every pattern is going to have motive waves and corrective waves inside of it, and if you don't get like a motive push where you need it, then your pattern doesn't matter. It's part of a different pattern. Anyway, so this looks better. I like this A, B, and think of this in terms of A, B, and C, A, B, and C, and then we'll see if we get another push higher, and then we'll go in. We'll relabel everything motive after we get past that peak, and that's probably the best thing to do. Of course, there is going to be motive waves through here, right? Let's do a little extension here. That looks good. So what this does is this allows for these corrective waves to match and form as kind of like sharps. I don't know if this is considered a flat or a sharp. It looks sharp. They look similar to me. It's not like one's a triangle and the other's a zigzag. And so I would like to stipulate that it's corrective until it's motive, and once it's motive, we'll have enough corrective waves to be able to assign alternations between corrections, and we'll use that to figure out which waves extended. Like this, in other words, could be 1, 2, 1, 2, where this 1, 2 is at a higher degree, and then this 1, 2 is a fractal bounding out of there. And then we'll get 3, 4, and 5 at both wave degrees, and they'll be pushing higher because that's the trend. That will be the overall trend. Currently, right now, what we have is an uptrend, but it's broken, right? It's been broken by this flag, this corrective pattern. Once price sets a high above 52 cents, that trend will be extended down, and that will express the next degree of uptrend. See how that works? when we can draw the new trend line, we are saying that an Elliott wave degree higher is then bullish. And that's how we do our trend studies. But anyway, interesting chart, CYBN. Nice flag through here. Good corrective push. Gonna have to wait for more data, which is so true for so many things, like all the time. Like, I wish there was always like answers, but sometimes you are just waiting. I've been just waiting on Playboy for like months now. Like a year almost, it feels like. A long time. 382 is my lower target on AMC, and 571 is my upper target. Yeah, that's about where my lower target is too. I think I have like $2 on my charts, but those are only on extensions. 571, yeah, that sounds, 571 is not very high, right? Let's go back to AMC for a minute here. Look at AMC. Let's go to the minute time frame, see what's up. Yeah, 571, that would be top of impulse A here in this correction. Yeah, that's going to be a big support or resistance. And actually, I should just relabel that right now. Make that make sense. There we go. And let's have a look. AMC now is pushing lower. This is the chart I was looking at earlier. It was. And I was trying to decide whether we were motive or corrective. Decide we were corrective, heading down. Got a corrective wave heading up, right? Wave C, did some funny stuff. Got a breakout, push up, bearish continuation is right here. We're testing bearish continuation right now. Hey, look at that. That looks mighty bearish, doesn't it? This looks kind of motive through here. Let's open up the RSI a little bit. And we're definitely getting some bullish divergences here. So this little push here, this downtrend's a motive. This is a corrective move. And then we get another little bearish continuation over here. And we'll use the intra-minute level there. We'll call this bearish continuation. Okay, so if price can make a 3-waveform move below there, then yeah, going down. You can see that price entered that same range and then bounced out. It did set a lower low, so this could be reactionary. And now what we're going to see is the RSI actually make a new low and spill into here, signaling motive continuation downward. Big volume spike there. It's probably actually support. Of course, implied volatility has been coming down all day today. We're going through some corrective moves. We're getting a wick here on this candle. Looks like this could be resistance. Interesting. I wonder why we'd be looking at resistance there. Let's see what the trend looks like. If this right now is okay, because that's the trend. We're looking for downtrend test now through there. Wow, that candle really flipped quick. Holy cow. Okay, that hurt. That was pretty bearish right there. Of course, we turn on the line chart, you don't see that sort of stuff, right? It's like, meh, looks good to me. So if we are heading down, then this is going to be waves 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for 5. So if we pass 515, this is the first impulse of the third wave extension. And so pushing up above this level would be reversal. And we would be signaling sideways at that point. Not necessarily up, but sideways. We're going to turn on the candles here. And there it is. Do you see how this candle, I was just like, why that wick? Where is that high? At 515? That's right at the low of the initial impulse of the third wave extension. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're now finishing the fifth wave extension, and then we'll be looking for wave 4 at the higher degree, which would be here. So right now we get short-term reversal. I mean, very short-term, like 30 minutes, an hour, at 515, which is very near this downtrend we've seen, right? So price likely could come up here and bounce for a while before pushing out lower, right? For 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 pushing down. And then we'd be looking for a bottom down here. And that would complete that small correction cycle. At least at one wave of that correction cycle, because the target would be lower. If that's the top of the corrective trend, and this was the first impulse, we have A, B, and C for wave B. 506 is then the target, right? So wave 1 maybe still working its way out through here. Maybe we have a complex zigzag, in which case we could break 515. So it's important to remember too. Like when I said if we break 515, we signal sideways, not necessarily up. We don't get up until we go here, right? 1 minute bullish. Whoops. 1 minute bullish. And here we go, 1 minute neutral. And I'm using my wave count rules there to basically determine whether or not price is making progress or not. So right now we're threatening to no longer be making progress to the downside, breaking this downtrend, and we're watching this candle test that right now. So we've gotten a wick higher, little doji. We have, how many more seconds do we have left on the clock for the candle? I don't have that up right now. Anyway, this is kind of an important time. If I were day trading, I'd be watching this live. Like, I'd just be watching this one candle. I'd be waiting to see what it did. If I entered into puts early, right back here, this would have been a great spot to take profits. Your put entry doesn't actually come until like 513 or your short entry. Because again, we want this large, we want to play the larger impulse, the continuation impulse to this. Right now, this could be all corrective here. We don't know until we really get that new low, which we didn't get. So we got to break up. We got to break down. If we get back below here and stay there, then let's do what the measured rule zigzag would be like. Be 508, 2 pennies away. It's not too bad. Of course, on a very minute price movements like this, you're not really going to make any money unless you're trading tremendous amount of shares. But it's all theoretical, right? So there used to be a time when these minute candles were like 25 cents. And of course, you'd pass strikes more frequently then. Yeah. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. We're going to be looking at a lot of charts today, so if you want to see something, let me know. Put it in the chat. AMC rejecting this upward push right now. Seriously, I could sit here and just stare at this and be like, okay, all right, yeah, pushing down. Looks like we hit 515. We're thinking about it. Oop, big up, right? Kind of a gap up there. Whack, whack, gap fill. Oh, coming back up now. Candle, whack. AMC will drive you nuts. This is why I don't watch AMC anymore. Whack, red, it's green, it's red, it's green, it's red, it's green. What's it doing? How about NVIDIA? Let's go to NVIDIA. And let's get off of the minute time frame and get out of the candles. Corrective waves. I'm looking for waves A and B. It looks like wave A wasn't done yet. You can see that there's actually a bullish divergence, of course, at the end of the mode of wave A. Just gonna label it. There you go. Through there. Color this green. Bullish divergence at the end of a motive trend. I almost want to just wait for the divergences to signal the end of the motive trend. And of course, when I did this measure tool, that was an assumption, like if we've seen this then. Now I'm thinking we've probably more likely seen that. Our corrective target didn't even hardly move, right? We get bearish reversal at 437. Now, mind you, this is a zigzag target. If we don't get a zigzag in this correction, we get a flat of some sort, then we're going to be looking for a test maybe of 437 or of the prior low, but not really getting that. And this is kind of a big bearish continuation level. Should I change this? Probably. 5, A, B, and C, but it doesn't really, is that really bearish, or should I move that down? I need to get a wave count going through here. I need to get a wave count through there because price is starting to, do what I forecasted, which was top at 473. And now we're seeing the reversal start to form. Passing below 454 was like a double top confirmation. And so we could be guarding sideways here before we find this next push down. That just makes sense to me to use the chart pattern analysis in context of Elliott wave. Seems smart. Seems smart. Yeah, this looks like a top. This looks like we're correcting down. Almost overbought on the RSI here. It's a pretty good indication that we're done with that corrective cycle. Now, typically in a motive wave, you hit overbought a lot, and that's characteristic of a motive wave, but not at the top of a corrective wave. I just see it all the time. AMC doesn't have earnings today, do they? That's what I was thinking. Let's see here. News on AMC. Let's see here. Wow, is this all news on AMC today? There's one of these. AMC moving lower pre-market. Here we go. AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc., blah, 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 the largest theatrical exhibition company in the world, announced today that it will report its results for the second quarter ended June 30th, 2023, after market closes on Tuesday, August 8th. Tuesday, August 8th, it sounds like. The company will host an earnings webcast accessible through the investor relations section of the AMC website, blah, 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 blah. So I think they were planning on having their earnings today. I don't know if that was like set in stone or not. And now they pushed it out to August 8th, of course. That's fine. Typical, it happens. Oh, we got an options alert here. AMC Entertainment Holdings option alert. August 4th, $5 calls sweep 9 near ask. See, I don't even know what that means. Like, what? Call sweep? Is someone buying a bunch of calls? Is that what that means? And honestly, like, what if that's just short sellers capping losses, right? So let's say you go short at $5, right? And you buy a bunch of $5 calls with the cash you got from selling short. Well, if price runs up on you, you just exercise the shares from the contract to close your short position. And your max loss is then limited to the cost of the call, right? Makes sense to me. So whenever I see those sorts of things, I just remember it's only a piece of information. It's not all the information. It's not like, oh, look, there's a whale who's really bullish. They're going to pump the stock, everybody hop on a train. It's like that could be part of a larger strategy, larger trading strategy. You just don't know it because when the buy and sell orders come in, it's not like there's names attached to them. You know? You can't know who's doing what. Anyway, so AMC, August 8th or 7th, or I already forgot. Moving on, let's go. I was supposed to look at some stuff today, and I think I looked at all the stuff that I said I wanted to look at. Let's go take a peek at QQQ, see what's up over here. QQQ on the minute time frame, of course. This thing is freaking obnoxious. Like, that is so obnoxious. Let's label it. Let's talk about it. What is it? Is it a leading diagonal triangle, or is it an ending diagonal triangle? In other words, is it a rising wedge or not? Well, let's talk about this. What do I see? Do I see motive or corrective through here? Do I see motive or corrective through here? Do I see motive or corrective through here? 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 5, 3. This looks bullish. This looks like a leading diagonal triangle, but it's got to be in like waves 1 or 8 for that to be the case. Is it? I guess it is. Yeah, it could easily be in like the end of wave A. But again, it's a tiny pattern. It's a tiny pattern. And if it does break down, that makes sense to me. Get some bearish divergence here. Maybe we're at the top of a corrective wave. This could be A, B coming up here, waiting for C to drop down. Not quite getting to 398.77 yet, but that is the current target. It looks like we have a nice little chart pattern through here, big upward breakout. You know what's nice about finding triangles is you can use the apex to approximate breakout times. Do I want to use this pattern? Do I have enough touch points? If I go back a bit, then it's like, I guess, yes, I do actually. I don't like how it looks, but I do see an offset between an incoming motive wave and the beginning of the chart pattern. Maybe just a little overthrow here. That's okay. Underthrow, I should say. Yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. So, if you don't know about this, it's on Volkowski's website, thepatternSite.com. Bright screen warning. Triangle apex. Really? Okay, here we go. Bulkowski on triangle apex and turning points. In the Elliott wave principle, that's this book he's talking about. Frost and pressure right on page 51, second paragraph from the bottom. Often the time at which the boundary lines of a contracting triangle reach an apex coincides with a turning point in the market. Here you go. Here's an example. Nothing much there. It's pretty straightforward. There are several examples. He does a math test. Bulkowski doing his data-driven analysis, which is so good. I don't do that much such analysis. At any rate, we're gonna just go ahead and connect the dots. Oh, look. Would you look at that? Look, here's an apex of a triangle, and look, there's a trend reversal. Ta-da! Now, is it a minor trend reversal or a major trend reversal? In my experience, it's been minor. So we could just begin. We could just be starting our reactionary trend to the impulse, this first impulse heading down. And I'm saying that this looks like impulse because it just does. Pretty big push down, pretty straight. In which case, we're looking for probably not a triangle in wave 2. Could be expanding. Looks like we're seeing a new high. Volume's pretty low, right? Man, Microsoft earnings coming out today. Google earnings coming out today. We're in a very overextended position, but you get this RSI kickoff. Look at that, 90. This could be the impulse of a whole new wave degree extending higher. We're gonna see what happens. We're getting near all-time highs, aren't we? Yes, we are. In which case, this is probably a 4-wave down. We're looking for motive wave 5. We've had this leading diagonal triangle in wave A. Insane, but we're still looking for wave B. Wave A won't last forever, right? But on the daily time frame, we definitely get the RSI reaching overbought a whole bunch, like is typical in motive waves. But also, we're getting the bearish divergence, which tells us that we're due for correction, right? I was just talking about using bearish divergence to forecast top of motive waves. And we don't necessarily get this massive sweeping bearish reversal all of a sudden, but we get correction. Earnings could easily cause that correction. It really could. This chart, I've got a lot showing through here, and I need to revise a lot of this counting. I had supposed that we were going to top out at 313. That's what I was thinking. Of course, price broke out higher to the upside, and it was like, whoa, look at it go. I was thinking that would be a little early anyway, but my bias was just so bearish, and that makes sense because the markets were super bearish too. But here we've got impulse A, we have 3, and then this is probably impulse. You see I've got it labeled in a complex zigzag. Remember, it's always possible that there are multiple counts that are correct. And so my count here, while it may have been correct, was just one possible iteration of price. Anyway, we definitely get leading diagonal triangle out of this. Big push higher. Impulse A is looking great. What's wave B going to look like, though? It's kind of atypical to see a whole correction just turn around like that. That's nuts. If this is A, B, and wave C, then C has extended beyond 161.8%. We'll start retracing this wave. If you want to call all of this 4, and this is also reactionary, not motive yet, it doesn't really matter which way you cut it. Whether this wave is reactionary or motive, correction comes. When and how far is the question. To me, I was just talking about wave B and how it's strong, it's euphoric. I mean, that's a ridiculous chart for an ETF that is for an ETF like this. This is nuts. It's time to come down at least a little bit. Even the bulls should be thinking, hey, maybe it's time that we're heading into some resistance. Anyway, China's economy is slowing down. They're connected to the tech sector, right? And that's something to keep in mind. Apple, of course, is just pumping away. I'm thinking we're topping out through here. Minute wave 5 should be below minor wave 3. Looking for minor wave 4 to come into play here. Again, we're getting another bearish divergence in the RSI and price, and that's common in in motive waves. We're waiting for those to break to see if we get wave extensions. The key is to figure out how many wave extensions you're looking for. That'll give you how many divergences to find completion. It looks like we had several at smaller time frames through here, as we had a massive wave extension at minor wave 3. Looking for minor wave 4 now. We could very well be almost ready to start it. It just depends how long wave 5 takes to finish at the minute degree. Because the corrective phase could be a bunch chop, bunch chop, bunch chop. To see resistance towards all-time highs makes sense, and to see price just pushing through here with no problem, you know, I don't know if that makes all the sense in the world. I really don't. Especially since the Fed wants to continue to raise rates. Okay, so let's keep moving along. Deeds is like AMC. I've been going over AMC a lot. Let's go back to the minute chart here. I was like really getting in here, doing like analysis on the most micro time level ever. Okay, here we go. So we broke 515, and in the overly bearish view that this would be the high, and we're just going to break this low and push lower, that motive wave count broke down. And so this is not 1, 2, 3, and 4. This has to be A, B, and C, and then we have another A, B, and C. This is what that does to the price targets. Check this out. It's like, look at that, right? A, B, and C, 100%. And then we're going to take this same tool and we're going to flip it over here. A, B, and C. Pretty close, right? Back-to-back 3 waves through here. We could be looking for A, B, and C. This could be the end of a corrective cycle through here. You can see that we kind of have a chart pattern that we start to put together. I bet it looks better on the line chart. Look at all the drawings suddenly like move completely. It looks more like a bear flag on the line chart, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I mean, we could get an inverted head and shoulder bottom through here. Again, we have to break that peak, right? We're not bullish till 520 really. We could see a continuation of a bear flag. We could see breakout. These rectangles are nasty. I've seen AMC go into a rectangle and hold that position for an incredible amount of time. Backing out to the hourly time frame a little bit. This chart, which set of drawing isn't that great. Let's see. Yes, this was, look, at 721, I was like, sideways confirmation. Price just explodes, right? But also, like, we're going kind of sideways now. It's too funny. Big support at 515 through here. This was an extension target from a bullish motive wave a while ago. This is a big level, 515. We'll see if we break through there or not. You know, it's like, worst case scenario is we've got A, B, and then C is down at 327. Take that how you will. I know, that's brutal. That would be just wicked. Let's see if we can't get like a triangle. So maybe we get a big B wave through here that forms a triangle. That makes sense for wave B. I mean, you've got it, right? So even if we get an upward push out of this downtrend and that triangle, I would still expect it to turn around. Probably happen at the triangle apex too. Probably would happen at the triangle apex. So AMC, I'm just kind of following it closely here, but to me, we need some more data. But we're close to getting that data, and maybe we get it by the end of the day. After all, the markets are still open for several hours. Let's go look at Boeing really quick. Let's look at the Boeing chart the other day. And I mean, I was just putting the most ridiculous price target on it ever, right? We get 74% of this push to the upside for a target on this big W. Let's just finish that analysis. And I think to do that, I'm actually going to see how that projects downward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a negative 0.74, and that'll flip that range to the positive. That's the price target for the big W right there. Price is, of course, consolidating here. Like, that is the biggest flag I've seen on the weekly time frame, besides an IWM. And if I just take initial impulse through here and we say this is a wave B, we're looking for 290, which is above this big W target, big double bottom. Again, I want to show or find wave B to be a triangle. There you go. Initial impulse pushing up right now. Do you see that? Boeing is a chart that really demonstrates use of analysis. I mean, there's a lot of pension money here, that's why. 160, 161.8% extension coming near to big W target. Makes sense. Go ahead and just take that off of there. And this is on the weekly time frame. Let's just tighten it up a little bit. Maybe I zoom back into the daily. Make sure this might make the pattern taller. There we go. It also makes our retracement a little higher. And that makes our target 253. Also changes this initial impulse a little taller. Okay, so there's like an $8 range through here I'm targeting. 253 through 245. We get bullish confirmation here. Color that green. And we could have like a little triangleception through here where we've got another triangle forming in wave B at a smaller degree. Go ahead and do this, do this. Look, there's a small trend change at the apex of this one. Actually, this is now looking silly. Let's fix it. There we go. Maybe this even has a little slope to it. Didn't move the apex, still had a little trend reverse triangle apex. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Okay, let's keep going here. I've got a lot of symbols here on the board. It looks like AMD's up there too. I haven't looked at that yet. Let's go over there. Waiting for AMD to move sideways, basically, is where I'm at with it. And it is moving sideways. Like, really sideways. We had a small B-wave target at 118, and price came up into there. Pretty good, within 5 pennies. Turned around. Now the question is, do we get wave C to push up higher? A, B, oh, I'm sorry, C would be a wave down, actually, because minor wave 4 here is looking down. It might not be that far of a drop, though. Minor wave 2, it's kind of, I don't know, is that a sharp? I think so. Wave 4 might be a flat, in which case we don't pass below 107. If we get below 107, though, we're targeting 93, but there's uptrend support here. And again, these things take time, which is why I favor the sideways analysis here, where we come up for wave 4, shown in yellow, and then that completes wave 3 at the intermediate degree, shown in blue, and then we get the correction to that motive wave, which is 4, and guess what? We'll probably find support at the same spot, and then we'll finish wave 5, which will probably truncate, so sideways grind in AMD, to me, makes a lot of sense. If the markets do go into correction, then we're looking for corrective patterns. And yeah, we easily see a corrective pattern in AMD. Let's go to NVIDIA too. NVIDIA is coming up just a little bit here, turning on the hourly time frame, or even the 15-minute. Looks like we are finding that peak towards 460. Waiting for bearish reversal still. Not quite ready to call that. Uptrend still here. Nothing to see. Back to, let's go to QID. This is like an inverse ETF. It's coming into retracement now. Did I do this on the daily time frame? Yeah. Again, looking for a lot of sideways. Looking for a lot of sideways. This could be impulse correction, looking for the next impulse up, trying to work our way up. We're waiting for the tech sector, of course, to reverse, for QQQ to turn around. And it may not be, but seems like it should soon. SLV is, let's see, let's put this down here. Where is this uptrend? This uptrend's really way down. Whoa! Way down here. This could easily like channel. I can see SLV channeling. Of course, it would have to do that against dollar. It wouldn't have to do it against dollar strength, but it would more likely do it against dollar strength. I kind of see the dollar as in some sort of wedge through here. There's like a problem. I would like to see a touch point through here, and I don't. It's very possible that on some wave degree, we're actually looking for much higher targets. Let's see, what was that? Wow, is that all up here? This looks really bad on the daily. Let's go to the hourly. Ooh, it still looks bad. It's just complicated. A, B, and I'm thinking that this is actually wave C, not wave 3. And I could probably measure the height here and see if the wave is longer or not. So I take the top, that wave, like this. It did exceed 100%, so it could be wave 3 and 4. We get bullish reversal at this 50% retracement or this extension from this impulse. That level between 101 and 102, if the dollar gets above there, that's bullish reversal. Like we will have nullified that potentially bearish count pointing down. We'll probably make a big inverted head and shoulder through here, and then we'll see the rise of the dollar to test that downtrend. I still think it's going to happen. If not, then we're targeting like 92, which is pretty low. Again, the markets are at one of those points where they're ready to fall one way or the other, fall into bearish or fall into bullish. You want camera mic today? Sounds different. Oh, the camera mic today. Is this not my mic? Oh, hey, thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. The mic is wrong. The mic is wrong. Let's see here. I wonder if I can fix that. Man, that sucks. Because I know that camera mic is trash. Let's see here. I think I can go into settings. Can I change it while I'm streaming live is the question. Settings. Audio. Apply. Okay. It's still not using the right mic, is it? It's not too bad. Okay, I'm glad it's not too bad, but I'm a little upset it's not using the right mic. Like, it's the default. It's the default microphone. Is it not picking up? Ha! There we go. Whoa.
Apply. Okay. Can you hear me now? Now it probably sounds better, right? Jeez. I didn't turn on my soundboard. Silly me, silly me. Okay. Because I've been like trying to talk into the mic. And obviously, if you're aware of what this mic sounds like and you see me talking to it, it doesn't sound like that. It's like, looks silly. But thank you, Zach, for pointing that out. Mic is now in the right position. Yes. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. Okay, so moving on from Dixie. I'm just going to look around the market. It's kind of like what I do during the day. Sometimes I'll just like look at something and it's like, what's Playboy doing? Yeah, in pre-market, like Playboy dipped to like 151, like this SOR level, like, and then bounced right back, like nothing happened. Like, what? I didn't do anything. Attempted breakout, spinning on resistance. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Let's go to AMC. See what we're doing over here. Ooh, we got a little breakout. Let's look at that on the candles. And I don't know which chart I was doing that on. This one? Hey, look at that. So max 4 retrace. That was, let's see here. Assuming that we had impulse 1 coming through here, right? This looks so bad with all the tails and wicks. I can't look at candle charts anymore. Let's see here. Yeah, I was assuming if this was like 1, 2, 3, then wave 4 would have to end at 526. It didn't. This could be 5. But I decided it was better to be A, B, and C. Okay. This doesn't look like the 1 minute chart I was doing. Is that here? 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 Blank. Really? Is it really this one? Yeah, 1 minute bullish, 1 minute neutral is this chart. Anyway, so where was the bullish? At 520, and we bounced 4 cents up. We're hitting support and resistance here at 526 and just like flopping over. But look at the RSI, it looks pretty bullish. You had a big volume spike through here, right? That's nice. Boom. Very possible that we get an impulse through here now. So let's look at let's move these levels around a little bit because we broke the level, right? So bearish reversal is now going to move to there. And 1 minute bullish moves up here to this most recent peak. And then 1 minute neutral. It's not really a thing right now. Because what we're doing is we're essentially saying that we've had a corrective move up and a corrective move down, and now we're starting to reverse and look for impulses heading higher because we broke a downtrend, right? And maybe not like in that sense, but at least from here to there, right? That one's broken. That downtrend broke. Color it red. And then we've got a low right here that created a downtrend. It also broke. There you go. And we'll just take this out of there. So naturally, this is a motive wave, right? Or a corrective wave perhaps. But one more push up will really tell us what's going on. Looking pretty good. It's a pretty small chart pattern still. Zooming out. 15-minute time frame. And I'm looking for downward breakout, really, I think. Can I get like an actually blank chart through here? This isn't like totally blank, but it's pretty close. Impulse heading down, A, B, and C. The C wave making a bullish divergence. It's now a reactionary trend to C, and it becomes no longer reactionary at 612. So this is also a bullish reversal level. I saw a lot of Twitter posts that were like, oh, look at the price. It's like $5, and it's $7 or $8, and then it's $5, and then it's $6. What is it? What is this? Can someone explain? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you obviously just don't understand how this works. When price retraces, it can be in terms of percentage. And when you make a scale move 100% like this, like you're going to get a big retrace. Like the price is going to make big swings. Just seemed silly to not know or acknowledge that. We could put a triangle through here. I like that. Let's do that. Let's, geez, the magnet tool is giving me a hard time. I wish I could just like magnetize two close. That would be great. Is that a good triangle though? I don't know. A, B, C. We didn't really get D and E, right? So I wouldn't really want to call it a triangle, but definitely that's the spirit of correction through here. A, B, and then C. Yep. This is a B wave through here. Maybe this B wave actually opens up a little bit. I wonder if I turn candles on, if that'll make more sense. I bet you it will. Nope. Look at this price extreme. Oh, AMC. You silly goose. Can't ever keep a motive running, you know? It's like you just find yourself labeling corrective waves all the time, right? Like back here, that's what I started doing. It's like A, B, and C. And then you get wave B on a bigger degree, A, B, C. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B. And it's like, technically, this is the top of C way up here. It's not even a motive wave at that degree. It's still like a corrective wave. It's like, what? It's 761. It made progress. And it's like, but did it make progress? Let's see. Here's 617. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. This will be fun. I need a new chart, but like, okay, what is this? I didn't label a chart pattern. This is probably for the flag, right? Probably for the flag. Let's clear this one out. I used to have so many AMC drawing sets. Eventually I just went through and deleted like most of them. But understanding that this is the top of a C wave. C. There we go. That helps because B is going to be two waves heading down, right? And that's built of two waves. And obviously we didn't get, yeah, there you go. We don't get 100, look for 50. There you go, 50% extension. And typically that's bullish when you stop at that 50% extension for an ABC wave. And then we get this massive surge. So dumb. I just shake my head. I'm like, excuse me? So like, let's go into the hourly time frame. It's like, is this wave's 4 and 5 and now we're starting A, B, and C? Like, that's such a weird analysis. Just looks so funny to me. Let's draw the downtrend. This is the B wave downtrend right here. And sure enough, we can actually get a triangle through here where it's actually right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's weird though, because like you get these spaces in the chart, like you'd want to see this come down all the way down and you want to see this one come all the way up, and like they kind of just spun on that level, that 454 level. Like that was big support and resistance. Price blasted out, no problem. This went straight up. But again, if this is what I'm looking for, A, B, and then here's C. It's just corrective. It's just corrective. AMC will do that. It'll do that, and it'll drive people nuts. Yep. A is a measured move up. B turns into this weird triangle, and then C comes higher. But we just can't be giving any motive wave counts through here yet. Like coming down below 613 was big because this can't be 1, 2, and 3, because now wave 4 would be coming into wave 1. So we have to rest with A, B, and C. And it's like this could be a motive wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 through here. But guess what? That would be another. That'd just be building this C wave. And prior to that, we have probably C. This might be B and A. No. This is a reverse B wave. Stupid broadening patterns. Look at this. Oh yeah, here's wave B for you. Here's the incoming wave, A. The backwards B wave, right? And C for B at a higher degree. There you go. And I like to make it blue. A, B, C, C. So this is actually going to be C at the higher degree. Right? A, B, C, which could be A or C or B. It's just corrective, right? We just finished the C wave. So, I don't know. Let's just start the count over again. A. Inherently, we're looking for another uptrend then. In wave C whenever it starts, right? So, whoops. If this is the case, then we're in another B wave right now, overall. And it's going to have 3 waves, and we're definitely forming those 3 waves. And we're just waiting to see how far C goes. So, yeah, we actually could see AMC pop back up. Really could see AMC pop back up. RSI would need to get to 75 on the hourly chart in order to break the potential for a bearish divergence, which could very well happen. We'd have A, and then we'd have A, B, and C for B, and then C would come up somewhere. And yeah, we'd be watching 780. I mean, and even then, it's like the upward price target isn't like spectacular still. Like, I'll tell you what, we'll go back here. We'll take a low way back there. And then we'll say the target would be 852 on extension, $10. Not bad. I mean, really, that's 200% from where we're at right now. But, you know, we'll see what happens, because C might truncate against A and not set a new high. Just can't say with corrective waves, right? So A, B, and C, and then you've got 5 for C, and then you got A, B, and C for A. Or it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3, 5. I just can't get a motive wave count. I cannot get a bullish count through here. because price is not making progress, right? And it's been sideways for a very long time with a very tall trading range, which is something I expected for a long time. And I used to talk about that. I was like, I have a theory that AMC will just bounce between A, B, and C waves for a very long time. And everyone's going to hate it. And it's like, yeah, there it is. That's what it looks like. Daily time frame, of course, price extremes are a little more muted. We can kind of see these, is that $10? No. $6.50. Which we definitely got to on the hourly time frame. Yeah, it seems like this is kind of the new trading range, right? Man, boom. This is when Ape came in. I mean, the $26 top back here, this is when I was like, AMC now or never. Like, this is either MOAS or it's like, forget it, I'm out. And I bailed. Yep, certainly did. Emptied out what shares I had left because I took most of my profits over here. Let's do this too. Let's just really quickly show trades here. So yeah, you can see where I was buying and selling. Started with like small positions and then I added to it. So my cost basis back here was seriously like $8 at one point. And yeah, I really started loading up here towards the end of the triangle, and then price went like ballistic, right? And I bought some shares, not a lot. And I took profits right here at 55, and then again here at 29. And I don't know if I had any. Yes, I did. I still had some left at 26. So there's 500, 800, 900. There's 1,000 shares sold above $29, $30. And then I did a little bit of trading here and there, but it wasn't like much. Like here I did a small little trade, 40.98 to 520, just to demonstrate like how to trade a corrective trend. Like I did a pretty good job, I think, but why would you trade that corrective trend? I should have just like if I could have sold short up here, that would have been the best. But I don't have a margin account, so I can't sell short. Anyway, talking about selling short AMC is like super taboo, but honestly, it's been the most profitable thing to do since the $72 high. All right, let's go ahead and turn off the trades. There we go. I'm not currently holding any AMC or GameStop. I'm just not. It just seems like a bad idea because I'm on YouTube covering them, and it seems to be problematic because stock pumping is real. Okay, let's see. I've gone over everything. I really have. I think I'm going to call it a day here on the live stream. Thanks for participating and hanging out and staring at some charts. I'm going to call it. I just want to make sure there's nothing else I wanted to look at. Just waiting for earnings, really, to push some charts around. Something I don't go over enough is Costco. Let's go to Costco. I love this chart. This is a great chart. And there was some bad news back here on like 7-7. Let's see here. Blame gas prices. Costco wholesale posted another month of same-store sales declines in June. This was like bad news. And I was like, oh yeah? And so I went and I analyzed the chart. And I tweeted it out. I said, looks like a buy on bad news. And then we rallied 6%. I think we've rallied more than 6% now. I think we're up to 7.73. This was a great chart to look at. Loved it. I mean, it was just like so clear to me that this is another great example. We have massive impulse. A wave down, B wave up, C coming into a triangle. Combination 335, baby. Looking for a massive surge higher. And guess what the time frame is? It's on the monthly chart. Yeah, look at this thing run. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, it makes so much sense to me, especially if we go into a bear market, that Costco will perform well. You see declining volume throughout the corrective trend. RSI came down to like 50, but guess what? It's coming back up. What's my price target on Costco? $6.99, $700. I'm looking for $700 on Costco. Currently trading at $5.65. Looks like earnings scheduled for September 26th.